We're all swing. Hey, looks like we're live again. That's my favorite thing in the morning. Welcome. Most shows, you know how they start. Let's figure out how to make your products and services, that stuff you believe in, just amazing. And let's have people coming to your website and buying it with no effort, with no thought. You're just sitting there counting your money, dollar after dollar after dollar. Yeah. Let me know how that works for you, because that's not going to work. Let me just be straight honest with you. No way, no how. So we don't think that that's what's going on. As renegades, and we'll talk about that more in a moment, we want to provoke your thoughts. We want to engage your mind so that you develop the right solutions for your individual challenges. You figure out ways to build your business, and you take a decisive action today. That's the name of the game today, because by the end of today, we're going to give you an antidote in the next 15, 20 minutes where we say, this is something we're going to try today. We'd love to see you try it. That's our goal. This show is where we're going to help you figure out what you need to do to take a step forward today. I'm Bob Graham. As always, that's my compatriot, my partner in crime, Tom Brush. And this is today's antidote.
Very well done, Bob. Look at you. And we got a few people already saying hello this morning. Tim saying hello, and my friend Missy. So welcome, everyone.
Nice. I really felt, I'm owning that more and more. I'm trying to make it actionable and exciting. It's so much to do.
But you got that skill.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So today's topic, Tom, we've been talking about accountability. Oh, I wanted to say, before we get to accountability, I had someone ask me yesterday to define what a renegade is. And I don't think we do that enough. So I want to take a second and see if I can define it, let you take a stab at defining it. To me, renegades are the people who are up at this hour, who are focused on their business, and who are looking for opportunities. They're the ones consuming information, consuming ideas, and the output of all that consumption is something greater, something better than they ever imagined. They're getting support, they're getting help, and they're growing a business that may not be the business that they had yesterday or 3 months ago, but it's the business they see the world needs tomorrow, next month, and next year. How'd I do, Tom?
That's pretty good. I like that.
Thank you. I hope we save these, do we?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I like that you went in that way, because it's similar, but it's a little different. I like to think about renegades as someone who's really tired of the status quo. Like, this is the way it's always been done. And whenever somebody says, well, let's try this, I'm like, no, we've always done it this way. That's the way we're going to be. I want the people who are like, I'm tired of that. Tired of doing it the way we've always done it, because yeah, maybe it's worked to an extent, but will it work moving forward? And then those people who listen to the same noise that people talk about over and over and over again, and just repeat what everyone else is saying, who is like, I'm tired of hearing about this or that I'm looking for something different. And because it's one of my favorite quotes, if you're that person who likes Robert Frost and you want to take the road untraveled, that's the people who I think are renegades. People who are looking for something that's different, something that's not just what everyone else has always done.
Different,
and yet they're not reckless. I had to get that in, because I think.
I was going to say, those of you playing the game with me now, when Tom says reckless, you have to drink a sip.
Absolutely. Well, Bob might have just froze, so we'll give him a second. Yeah, I just think that people who, there are ways to be a renegade without, like I said, being reckless, without taking, you're not rebelling against someone. You're not doing it to be negative to somebody else. You're just like, look, that's not serving me. I want to move forward and do something that's different.
I'm going to shift gears from that. Now we define that. And Missy, I saw real briefly, described it as a renegade. Thank you. Is an innovator, a change agent. I love that our audience takes our 3-minute descriptions and compresses it into 3 words. It's beautiful. It just goes to show you, that is amazing. So Tom, one of the things I think that helps someone be an effective renegade, Okay. See that segue I did there?
Very nice.
Is looking at accountability, being accountable to someone. Accountability being, I make a commitment, I'm going to do a certain thing, and I'm accountable to someone else who says, did you do it, Bob? Very simple. Yes or no. If it's no, hey, what happened? And they might help, they might support you. Or most of the time you achieve it and they go, bravo, nice job, Bob. That's great. How'd it go? And you build off of that. You were going to give us an example today from your professional life. And then I was going to give an example of where accountability really paid off.
Sure. I think the thing I love about accountability is it holds you, or someone holds you to what you say you want to do. It's not their expectations. It's your expectations of where you want to go and where you want to be. And so last year I had the chance, I was in a coaching group, or a group of peers. And
Wait, you're a coach and you get coached?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lot. I get a lot of coaching from a lot of people, which is very helpful and effective.
You and me both.
We all need it some way or another.
That's it. Even Tiger Woods needed a coach.
Even Tiger Woods needs a coach. So it was, and one of the things we were in the middle of this program, they made an offer that, we're going to put a little contest together, and that we want people to set stretch goals, like what's going to really push you. And so we set those goals, and there was a reward at the end. There was an opportunity for the chance to be really launched as your business, that this organization that was running it was going to support you in various ways with their resources to help you move your organization forward. And I was like, I want to do that. And at one point, before all of this stuff happened, there was going to be the opportunity to be on the stage and give a talk about why you should win the We Launch You contest, is what it was called. And I love being on stages, so that was something that excited me. And so I set my stretch goals, and for me, they were a huge stretch.
Yeah,
and
when you described them, they were really a stretch.
Yeah, especially for where I was at that time with my business. I was like, well, look, if I'm going to do this, I want to do something that matters, something that is important and impactful to me. And I figured that the only way I was going to be able to achieve it is if I found someone who would keep me accountable. And so we had a coach. My coach who was helping me with it, who's in the Ring of Renegades. She's awesome. I said, look, I'm going to send you an update of my goals once a month on the exact same day every month, because that's going to mean that I have to focus on it to send it out to you to share where I am. And I have to put it out there that this is where I'm at. It also gave me a chance to really relook at where I was coming close to what I wanted to do and where I was maybe needed to put more effort, which was a great reminder of how I needed to focus my time. And it was great because she would then call me out on something and says, well, I see you're falling short a little bit here in the number of presentations that you were doing. All right, what are we going to do about that? And so that accountability, and at the end of the year, I actually achieved the stretch goals that I had, which was ecstatic for me. I mean, it was really something that I was not sure I could do, but with some accountability, I was able to focus on the right things to achieve the goals that I had set out to achieve.
So goals, stretch goals, accountability, success, greater success. And I think it's fair to say, tell me if I'm wrong, but I felt like you achieved success last year that you did not expect to achieve. You exceeded what your expectations were.
Absolutely. I mean, I had some, I like to think that I'm going to achieve every goal I set, but I also am realistic sometimes. And those were definitely stretch goals for me. And our stretch goals couldn't be like, well, I'm going to say it's a stretch. Our coach who knew us, had to say, yeah, that's a stretch. That it wasn't something that was just going to be easily achieved.
Makes perfect sense. So let me give you an example from my business life. I was leading a team at one point, and we were not having great success. And I imposed an 8:30 a.m. standing meeting every day. And at 8:30, yeah, you actually stood because it really shortened the meeting. It was like a 5-minute meeting. Everyone who was there that day stood, and we went through our projects. and it said, what are you working on? What are you struggling with? What kind of help do you need? And within 3 days, we had all kinds of progress that we had never had before, because someone would say, I need help with this. And someone else would go, oh, I got time. Let me help you with that. Or, oh, I've done that before. And all of a sudden, because people were accountable to each other, we were accountable as a team, not just
Right.
Bob does his work and Sue does her work, but Bob and Sue have the ability to rely on each other. We had a much more successful work environment. I mean, it changed everything, and people started to have fun. And we went from, I know, and we went from having these stand-up meetings where it was like, oh, we got to do a stand-up meeting, to people would call in when they weren't working or when they were off site because they didn't want to miss what was going on, because it was this chance to, oh, you got that done yesterday? Oh, man. Oh, that graphic looks great. Oh, that brochure is awesome. Oh, we got some great feedback on that thing. They didn't want to miss the good stuff. And they also didn't want to miss the opportunity, because suddenly they were able to help other people on the team, and they were getting better at things they might not have otherwise gotten to touch. It's like, oh, I want to be part of that big project. Let me contribute oh, I've done some editing before. I remember a person who I never imagined doing editing said, I'd love to edit that document. I was like, that's beautiful. So there's a place where accountability, we often think of it like individual accountability, but that was a team accountability situation. And I've helped organizations put that together since then. And it's been really effective. The stand-up meetings, John's company, actually, I worked with John's company, John Hansen, and they started doing stand-up meetings every morning just to sort of get things sorted out among the administrative staff. And it really made a difference really quickly. And right. I think that's because you're accountable. You're not just in your silo, you're working with other people, and you're achieving the results that you need to achieve in the most efficient way possible. And that's a part of accountability I think we haven't really talked about, which is it drives efficiency. It eliminates wasted time and spinning wheels. And so we often talk about, oh, it's so good to get things done and have someone celebrate with you. For me, I was thinking about it last night. When I'm really accountable, it keeps me from going left when I should be going straight. And it reminds me of what straight looks like.
Yeah, can I show you one of my longtime friends that I grew up with is actually on today, and he's a school administrator. So I think it's an interesting, and he shares that, there's lots of implications here for school and faculty, and I think that that's an interesting case because schools don't always have, they work independently in some regard. You have your class, you work on your class. But I think what they're finding is that the more that they can connect and engage and intertwine different things can make it stronger. My alma mater is one who decided that there were 3 important things that they needed.
Would that be Hamilton College?
It would. I didn't want to shamelessly promote it, but
no,
all right.
You can. I'll let
Hamilton
you.
College.
If you went to some school up in the middle of nowhere, New York, we should at least give them a little credit.
Fair enough.
It's near Binghamton, right?
It's north of Binghamton.
How far north?
Well, it's probably about 65 miles, but you can't get there from there, so it takes like an hour and 40 minutes to drive.
Isn't that Canada?
Something like that. Actually, how well you know your U.S. geography, it's about not even halfway to Canada from Binghamton. So close.
Wait, not even halfway from Canada. That doesn't. How far does it take me to get to the Canadian line from Binghamton?
Depending on which way you go, it probably takes.
I would go north. Which way would you go, Tom?
The problem is in New York, you can't always go north.
This was going to be like the time cap.
Oh, and we lost Bob.
This was our time capsule episode. It was going so well until I got to Hamilton and Binghamton.
Well, because you got me off track. So I'm going to get us back on track, hold us accountable to what we're doing. And but what they did is they started integrating public speaking and writing across all of the curriculum. And so you might be taking a math class and you might have to have a focus on how to write, and the writing that you would do would be writing intensive. or there would be a public speaking part of it. It wasn't just like write out your equations. It was like stand up and present what your equations are. So you actually had to have a chance to do different things. And I think it changed a little bit. It changed a lot of faculty of how they taught. And it provided students with like, all right, here are the things that we know we are going to get out of every class we take. And I think that, those opportunities to work together as a team and think about the greater good that we can do and the accountability to that provides, unbelievable opportunities.
And achieves greater success. I mean, I've never heard anyone describe accountability when it works and not say, oh, it was better than I ever imagined. I lost more weight. I ran further. I exercised more often. I meditated more often. My business really got a jump start. My employees were better. There's no case. If someone can make a case for when good accountability didn't work, I'd love to hear it, but it's not going to happen. And I think that's one of the things being a renegade is finding that person you can be accountable to and being accountable. And part of accountability is being open and honest. Tom and I do this, and I feel perfectly comfortable to say to Tom, I didn't do this thing I said I was going to do today. And I know Tom's not going to go, what? What's wrong with you? He's going to go, okay, Bob, what happened? Tell me what can I do to support you? Where did it fall apart? And often that discussion about where it fell apart is what really catapults you to greater success.
Right.
It's not the, oh my God, you're amazing, Bob. Bravo, bravo. Best episode ever. It's, hey, Bob, we were really rolling well here. And then you got on to Binghamton and you derailed the train. What were you thinking? Don't do that again, which Tom could never do. Is Missy a Binghamton
Missy's
graduate?
from Binghamton. She is.
Missy and everyone else, I am not shaming Binghamton. I think it's lovely that they put a college up in the middle of nowhere. And I only pick on the college because Tom is so passionate about it. He hasn't worn a sweatshirt in a couple of days here, but he likes to wear a sweatshirt. I know he's involved with the college, and I believe one of your children went there, right?
My daughter is going to graduate from there virtually in 2 weeks. So,
okay.
Yes.
So I'm just giving Tom a hard time. Believe me,
Shocking.
I am any college, anyone who goes to college, I'm totally supportive of. So don't take it as so serious. I want to be accountable to the fans out there. And how does that person that you went to school with, is it Theron or Theron?
Theron.
You went to
high school with him. High school.
What high school?
Yes.
What high school was that, Tom?
Really? We're going to do this?
Yes.
It's called SCIO, New York, SCIO Central 8. It's the middle of, you talk about absolutely nowhere. Go to Binghamton, go left or west, like 2 hours, and you're in the middle of nowhere. So that's where it is.
How did you make it to the big city of Baltimore and survive?
Oh, that's like 3 episodes, Bob, I think.
Okay, well,
we don't want to go there.
Okay, well, our topic today has been accountability. And if you have an example of where accountability worked for you or something you want to share about accountability, we'd love to hear from you. You can comment down below, or if you join our Ring of Renegades, you can actually contribute. We're getting lots of video postings in that group, which is really exciting. I love when people go live with the video and just talk about things that they're thinking of. It's been really enlightening to me to hear people's own words and to have them just describe what's going on. We got a great video from Jessica.
Right.
What's that?
Renegades do it live.
Renegades do it live. That's right. So many comments I could throw at that.
Don't.
No, I won't. If you want to join our Ring of Renegades, or you think you have someone else that you want to bring to our Ring of Renegades, go to Facebook groups, type in Ring of Renegades. You'll see it there, and you can join, or you can track down Tom or me, and we will be happy to get you in there. Until tomorrow morning, Tom, it's been another episode of today's. Oh, we didn't do what's the one thing today. I'm sorry.
You almost forgot.
Now I'm spinning. Let me go first. I'll go first today.
Please do.
So my challenge to anyone is, if you don't have an accountability partner, find someone. It can be a friend, it can be a colleague, a former boss, a mentor, an associate. It can be anyone. It can be someone you met at a networking event that you hit it off with. And it doesn't have to be this formal sign a contract thing. It can just be simply, can we do a 15-minute call every Thursday morning where I want to talk to you about what my goals are for the week, this week, and I want to hear what your goals are, and then next week I want to hear if you achieved them, and I'll tell you if I achieved them. That's as easy as it is.
And I would offer to that, mine is that I thought that was perfect.
Thank you.
And I think that it's really important that the person who you're going to ask to be your accountability partner truly cares about you and where you want to go. It's not about them. It's not about their position or their role, and sometimes it's not that they're a friend. I mean, sometimes that's not helpful. If you can't take from that person saying, you said you were going to do this, but you're not doing it. Why? And explain more about that. Like, if you can't have that conversation with that person and then 2 minutes later turn around and be talking about family and friends and what you're doing for the weekend or whatever, then it's not the right accountability partner. It needs to be somebody who can have that hard conversation, and then you're able to move on and talk about whatever else is next and not take it as an attack or offensive or whatever the case might be. So I think that's a critical piece to your accountability partner.
It's a great point, Tom. So with that, we'll close the book on today's episode of today's Antidote. Again, Facebook Ring of Renegades. Find us, join us. We are growing a movement, a revolution. We are renegades, and we are going to make it happen. It's getting better and better, and we are starting to see the fruits of our labor in so many powerful ways. Until tomorrow, people, have a great day. Be healthy.
Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon.